Hi, I'm Madeline Harper, 27, a graphic designer who's finally taking a leap out of my small hometown of Cedar Ridge, moving to Chicago for a new opportunity. Tonight is my going away party, and honestly, I should be thrilled. My apartment is packed with friends, family, balloons, and half-eaten cupcakes. The room is buzzing with laughter, but underneath it all, there's this flutter of nerves in my chest. Leaving is exciting, but tonight, I hoped it would be a warm, sweet send-off, a moment of celebration I deserved. Then my brother, Ethan Harper, who's always been the golden child in my parents' eyes, decided to speak. Everyone quieted down, glasses in hand, smiles plastered. And then he said it. By the way, I'll be moving in with Hannah. Time froze. Hannah Donovan, my ex, the one I had trusted completely, the one who broke my heart 6 months ago. The room erupted with awkward laughter, but I couldn't hear any of it. My throat tightened, my hands went cold. Betrayal hit me like a punch to the stomach. I stared at Ethan. He smirked, like it was a harmless joke. My parents clapped him on the back, laughing along. Nobody seemed to notice the way my heart shattered right there. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. And in that moment, I realized, this wasn't just a blow from my ex. This was my brother. My family. That night, I knew something had to change. I couldn't let them keep deciding what hurt me. Growing up in Cedar Ridge, my family always made it clear who the favorite was. That favorite was Ethan. My brother could do no wrong. He'd forget to do chores. My mom, Karen Harper, would laugh it off. He'd come home late. My dad, Douglas Harper, would just shake his head with a smile. Boys will be boys. And me. I had to be perfect. Grades, chores, appearances. I had to check all the boxes. Any slip, no matter how small, would bring criticism. Why can't you be more like Ethan? Was practically a lullaby in my house. Birthdays were a blur of awkward comparisons. Holidays were a race to see who could make Ethan feel more celebrated. And I learned early that my accomplishments were only acknowledged if they mirrored his. I loved my brother, but I also resented him. He had the charm, the confidence, the freedom. I had the responsibility, the rules, the weight of expectations. My parents rarely defended me when things went wrong. In fact, I often found myself quietly blamed for Ethan's mistakes. This favoritism shaped me in ways I didn't realize until much later. I became hyper-aware of my actions, constantly trying to earn validation, not only from my parents but from the people I loved. And so when Hannah and Ethan's announcement hit me at my party, the pain wasn't just about betrayal. It was a lifelong pattern finally crashing into my present. Even as a child, I had learned that family loyalty didn't always mean protection. Sometimes, it meant choosing the wrong side, or being left behind entirely. After my breakup with Hannah, I thought my family would be my safe place. I was wrong. I poured my heart into mending the pieces of my life, hoping my family would see my pain, maybe even defend me. I organized family dinners, helped my parents with bills, stayed up late to tutor Ethan when he forgot his homework, and always tried to be the glue that kept everyone together. I worked double shifts at my design studio, sacrificing sleep just to save money for a new apartment so I could finally move out on my own. I spent hours scrolling through job postings, applying for opportunities in other cities, all while smiling at family gatherings, pretending everything was fine. I thought that if I gave enough, I'd finally earn respect and acknowledgement. But no matter what I did, nothing was enough. Ethan continued to charm our parents effortlessly, slipping through life's challenges with minimal effort and maximum praise. Every time I tried to voice my feelings about Hannah or my desire for independence, my concerns were brushed off. You're overthinking it, my mom would say. Ethan is just trying to do what's best, my dad would add. And then there were the subtle hints I ignored at the time. Ethan and Hannah spending extra time together when I wasn't looking, the inside jokes, the smiles exchanged behind my back. I pushed the thoughts away, telling myself it couldn't be true. I didn't want to believe my brother would betray me like that. So when he stood in front of my friends and family, grinning as he announced he was moving in with Hannah, The anger, hurt, and disbelief hit me like a wave. All the sleepless nights, all the sacrifices, all the hope I'd carried. It felt meaningless. That party was not a celebration of my new beginning. It was the moment I realized my family's loyalty was never truly mine. The moment of truth was seared into my memory. I was standing near the punch bowl, forcing a smile, when Ethan casually dropped his announcement. Glasses clinked, people laughed nervously, but all I could feel was a cold, hollow pit in my chest. By the way, Maddie, I'll be moving in with Hannah next week. Hope that's okay. Okay. My jaw went rigid. My voice caught in my throat. My parents' applause felt like a slap. My friends exchanged awkward glances, unsure of how to react. Ethan's smirk screamed, "I win." I wanted to confront him, to shout, to demand some shred of decency, but words failed me. My mother, Karen, gave a polite smile, like she was proud of her successful son. My father, Douglas, didn't even look up. Nobody defended me. Nobody acknowledged that my world was shattering right in front of them. I felt the weight of every past slight, every ignored plea, every sacrifice I had made. All of it boiled over. Without a word, I turned and walked out, leaving the party behind. The door slammed softly but with finality. Silence swallowed me as I stepped into the night. That walk home under the cool stars was heavy with a mix of grief, fury, and the first flicker of determination. I realized then, if I didn't leave this toxic cycle behind, I'd be trapped forever. After that night, I knew I couldn't stay in Cedar Ridge. Every street corner, every coffee shop, every familiar face reminded me of betrayal. I spent the next few weeks quietly preparing my escape. I sold my car, packed my belongings, and handed in my resignation at the design studio. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. Not my parents, not my friends, not even my brother. I moved to Chicago, a city alive with possibilities and anonymity. My new apartment was small, cluttered, and far from the comfort I once knew, but it was mine. I started a job at a local design firm, slowly adjusting to a life where no one judged me, where no one's approval was required. At first, loneliness was suffocating. But I filled it with routines, with small victories. Exploring new neighborhoods, making coffee for myself in the quiet mornings, and rediscovering hobbies I had abandoned. I joined a small writing group and met Sophie Lane, a mentor who believed in my talent and encouraged me to chase opportunities I'd once thought impossible. Gradually, I rebuilt myself piece by piece. I laughed again, truly laughed, without worrying about who might be listening or judging. I learned to enjoy solitude, to find peace in my own company, and to trust myself. The betrayal that had once threatened to define me now fueled my growth. I wasn't running away. I was reclaiming my life. Every step forward was a declaration. I would no longer allow others to dictate my happiness. Just when I began to feel fully settled, the past tried to reach me. My phone started buzzing with calls from Karen and Douglas. At first, I ignored them, but the messages kept coming. Guilt-laden texts about how heartbroken they were, how they missed me, and hints that Ethan was struggling to adjust with Hannah. Ethan even sent me a casual message. "You should really get over this, Maddie. It's just life." The audacity made my blood boil. No apologies, no acknowledgement of the pain he caused, just a demand for me to sweep everything under the rug. Then came the manipulative phone calls. My mom's voice, sweet but insistent. "Your father's health has been declining, Maddie. Maybe you should come home for a few days." My father added subtle pressure, lamenting how the family needs me. I realized this was their tactic. Push guilt, stir emotions, and lure me back into the cycle of manipulation. I didn't answer. I didn't cave. I blocked numbers, deleted messages, and focused on my life in Chicago. For the first time, I realized the strength I had gained. I wasn't the scared, people-pleasing girl from Cedar Ridge anymore. I had the power to say no, to protect my peace, and to live for myself without fear of judgment or abandonment. By the end of it, I knew the truth. My family had tried to pull me back, but I had outgrown the chains of their control. Looking back, I see now that leaving wasn't an act of rebellion, it was an act of survival. Cedar Ridge, my family, even Ethan and Hannah, represented a life that no longer served me. Choosing to walk away allowed me to find peace, joy, and a sense of self-worth that had been buried for years under favoritism, betrayal, and unspoken expectations. In Chicago, I finally learned the value of boundaries and the importance of surrounding myself with people who truly care. Friends who celebrate my successes, mentors who lift me up, and a life I built on my own terms. This became my reality. The lesson is clear. You don't owe loyalty to those who betray you. True family is defined not by blood, but by love, respect, and support. And sometimes, the bravest choice you can make is to leave behind everything that weighs you down. Now, when I think of that night, I no longer feel crushed by betrayal. Instead, I feel empowered. I chose myself, my happiness, and my future, and that choice changed everything. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's survival. Family is proven by love, not just blood.